So if you want to grow some massive quads, you've probably heard me advocate for doing leg extensions paired with sissy squats, but to really get the most out of these two exercises, here are a few tips to keep in mind.
How'd that get in there?
Real quick, MyProtein's pumpkin spice protein is back in stock. It is one of my favorite flavors and I highly recommend trying it out. Anyway, number one, when you are doing the leg extensions, make sure to pause at the top of each rep for 1 to 2 seconds. If you can't, lower the weight and start again. This time, focus more on controlling the way up with your quads as opposed to brute forcing it as fast as possible. This will really target and fatigue the shortened or contracted position since you'll place significantly more tension in that top range. Then when you can no longer bring the weight all the way up, you could opt for some lengthened partials until the weight literally just won't budge, or you can just stop your set there and go straight onto sissy squats. If you're doing more than 2 rounds of these two exercises, I'd recommend skipping the lengthened partials, otherwise it's probably worth it to include them. Either way, once you finish the leg extensions, without a second of rest, immediately walk over to your designated sissy spot and begin your sissy squats. All you need is one hand wrapped around the side of a machine for a little support, then get as deep as possible while keeping your hips fully extended and your torso aligned with your quads. Now, since this exercise focuses more on the lengthened position, this time you want to pause at the bottom when your quads are stretched. This will then fatigue and target the lengthened position, which is why pairing it with the leg extension is so brutal, because the leg extension will fatigue the shortened position, which leaves the lengthened position to have just a little bit more juice until you completely empty all the gas in the tank with the sissy squats, leaving your quads screaming in physical pain. But a few things to keep in mind: do not rest at the top, give yourself 1 second maximum and then immediately go down for another rep. Then on the way up, only use your supporting hand for balance and try your best not to pull yourself up with that arm. Again, keep those hips fully extended the entire time and think of pointing your little peanut up to the sky, leading the way back up to the top. And then when your quads finally decide to give out, you could opt for some more lengthened partials, or you can just skip to the crying and end your set there. Again, this just depends on how many rounds you're doing. Personally, I wouldn't do more than 2, especially if you're doing another quad exercise on the same day, like a squat or leg press. But that is how to grow your quads. If you made it to the end, consider using code MAXI on MyProtein. It really does help me out, and you also get some delicious tasting supplements for 40% off. It's a win-win for everyone. And if you do this exercise, just be careful, because you'll probably not want to do it ever again.